Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming back. Where are we? That's what you're wondering. Well, at this set of traffic lights here, if we were to go left, we would go down towards the Paphos Harbour area. If we were to go right, we would go up to the former Debenhams roundabout, but we're going to go straight, which means we're going into Universal. So a very, very good morning to Mr. Daniel Mahoney, and of course, the superintendent of all police officers, the commissioner of all the police in the world, Mr. Ronnie Miller. Especially for you, we're going to go for a quick drive around in the Universal area and see what's going on. You never know, we might go and case your house, Mr. Ronnie Miller, and see if your car's back, because last time I went past, your car was not there, so someone may have borrowed it. Now, we're also going to go and do a drive-by past the Paphos Diner, because some people know and some people don't that the Paphos Diner, well, there's been some big changes there, that's for sure. They've literally removed, shall we say, the ramshackle front of house and replaced it with a state-of-the-art steel and glass front of house. It's transforming itself into probably the premier restaurant in the Universal area, because it understands that in this area there's an awful lot of foreign nationals that like to pop in and have fish and chips and that kind of thing. So Daniel Mahoney, look out for your property. We're not going to point it out to the world, but just somewhere on this road is where his dad's got a house, and they like to mosey on down in Paphos 2 or 3 times a year. And as you can see, the roads are pretty quiet because it's pretty early in the morning. And if you're wondering about that blue sky, well, it's a little bit cloudy, isn't it? The weather in Paphos at the moment is a little bit, how do we say it, chopsy mopsy. Not the greatest weather in the world, but if your name is Miss Dawn, you got a husband called Mr. Sean, you stole a cat called Miss Daisy from downtown Paphos, and you've got a dog called Bobo, the temperature today is 18 degrees. So it's a little bit chopsy mopsy by Cyprus or Paphos standards in particular, but it's not too bad perhaps if you're coming from uptown Derbyshire. So what have we got coming up here? This is the farmhouse, like mini supermarket. I'm going to do a full U-turn here. There we go. I'm sure the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ronnie, will let me off. He'll get me off, and he'll stop Captain Stavros from beating the living daylights out of me, and he'll make that U-turn fine vanish, because we want to go back and have a quick look at the Paphos Diner. And here it is. I'm going to pull over and I'm going to turn the camera that little bit so that people can see just how spectacular it actually is. Look at that. That's a brand new front facade, and it's got an open terrace as well. A very, very, very nice place indeed. So if you're looking for that perfect place to come for your lunch, that's it, the Paphos Diner. It's open for breakfast, it's open for lunch, and of course it's open for dinner, evening meals, of course. Confusing my English a bit there, even though watching with CB Alabooth is not with me. Now, let's go for a mosey on around in the Universal area. Lots of people are familiar with Universal because lots of people own holiday homes here, or they come out here and they rent an apartment or a villa in this area. Frequented by a huge number of foreign nationals, not all British, obviously. We've got Russian, we've got German, we've got French, we've got the odd Swissy and so forth. But there's an awful lot of foreign nationals who either live here or own in this particular area. Why is that? Well, it is but a 15-minute walk to the Old Town. It is but a 15-minute walk to the Paphos Promenade area, 10 minutes to Bar Street. So I think you're starting to understand it's a rather good location indeed. So where are we now? Well, believe it or not, that house there on the left-hand side, that's the house of the man who actually owns the Gelalamo restaurant. Yeah, that's Andreas and Maris's dad's house. That's where he hangs out. So let's pop down this road, let's take a left, and then we'll take another left, and then we'll do a wiggle past Mr. Ronnie Miller's apartment complex, and let's go and see if his car is in its parking bay, or perhaps has it been stolen again. Now, let's just, I mean, forgive the road surface here, by the way. If your name is so sweet Caroline, it doesn't matter what car we're in. Yes, we're back in the S-Class. You may have noted the 3-pointed star on the hood, but even an air suspension S-Class cannot smooth out the roads. Some of the roads in the Universal area really are up there with the award for some of the worst roads in Paphos, if not even in the world. Anyway, that's the rant over. Slowly but surely they are doing the roads, as we understand, but they got a long way to go. Anyway, here we come. Ronnie, your apartment complex is there. Your front door is closed, I can see that. Let's check on your car. No, your car's not there. So someone's stolen your car again, Ronnie, and I don't think it's you, because I do think that you are over in rather chilly Scotland, aren't you? So I presume you know who's borrowed your car. Give them a call and tell them to bring it back and give it a good car wash as well. Right, this is downtown Universal, as I've said, and we're going to go and check who is in the breakfast crew today. We understand the girl in charge of most things is the one and only Dame Anne. She's got the greatest lawyer in the world sitting next to her. Of course, she's a star, and her name is Anna Star. We've got the two Ronnies, the porn stars on either arm. One's called Viking Ronnie, he's sitting there with his filter coffee and his piece of malty toast, and on the other arm is the one and only Ronnie Miller, of course, and we've just done a drive-by, but with no shooting, Ronnie, with no shooting, and he's having a cup of tea and a rich tea biscuit. Now, the girls in charge of the Marika and Me Lounge, they're the Dolly Birds, and they start off with the one and only Miss Vivian, the greatest cheesecake cook in the world. We've got her partner in crime, Miss Nessie, who does like to make a very nice Bakewell tart, although apparently it was originally called a Bakewell pudding, because I was watching one of their videos the other day. Nessie and Andy's Travels, that's her partner in crime, Mr. Andy. They got their own YouTube channel, and they're whizzing around Shropshire, and they now and again cross the border into Staffordshire and into Wales and those kind of things. Anyway, they went to the village or town of Bakewell, and apparently you can't say Bakewell tart in Bakewell because they don't like it. They like to call it pudding, but we're pretty sure that there probably is the odd tart or two in the town of Bakewell, as there is in most towns. Anyway, that's the little joke over. I'm sure some of you got it. Right, anyway, we've also got another superstar in the kitchen, and she likes to cook up a bit of a froth, and her speciality is doing these special mocha frappes and all those kind of things. Her name is Miss Beverly, and her partner in crime, well, his name is Ian the Butcher, and he likes to butcher the living daylights out of a pork chop or a ribeye steak, especially for you, especially on a Friday afternoon if you're going to have steak for tea. Anyway, big shout out to you guys, and shout out to a few other people as well. We've got Mr. Nigel, Miss Debbie, and of course the wonderful Princess Maya. Of course, we've got my cousin King James, his Queen Kyrene, and of course their princess and our princess, the one and only. She loves a lovely blueberry cheesecake muffin, and of course there's a big smile coming onto her face, and her name is Princess Darlie, superstar amongst superstars, that's for sure. Who else is in town? Well, we've got the one and only Dave Jono. He's a lord, by the way, and he is, well, he's a tipster, that's for sure. Full-time tipster. If you want to tip on a horse that's probably going to lose, that's the man to go to. So go and have a word with him in the comments. He'll give you a tip. You put a tenner on it, and we're pretty sure that you're going to lose. Only joking. Normally he wins, as Miss Andrea of Andrea and Mart fame. Yes, they've got a YouTube channel as well, and they are racing in and around the lanes of Norfolk. So if you want to watch some Norfolk racing around, or some Suffolk, it's apparently going to go across there now and again, and you never know, they might even find the area called Wellfolk. You never know, it could exist somewhere, because there's an awful lot of strange names for districts and towns and villages in the UK, that is for sure. As there is up in Denmark, by the way. We were moseying on down yesterday with Viking Ronnie, and he lives in Denmark. He's originally from Israel, and he's hoping one day to relocate to Cyprus, by the way. That's his love affair with Cyprus. He's also got a bit of a love affair with Miss Otchinglesivia LaBooth. I did notice, Ronnie, but I don't mind, and she loves you back straight away, don't worry. Great earrings, we very much appreciate them. We thank you very much, and those earrings, of course, will be appearing in a YouTube video of Marika and me very soon indeed. we're going to take a left here. This crossroads, by the way, if you go right, you go up what we call Russian Road, and eventually you would head towards the older town of Paphos. If you go straight, you come out by the roundabout on the Paphos Mall, and you can continue along Tomb of the Kings Avenue and go out towards the Paya district. But we are going to take a left by this big church, and we're going to wiggle and waggle down towards the Cato Paphos harbour area. Why? Well, let's go and see what the view is out across the blue Mediterranean Sea. Because we understand the sky, well, as I've said, it's blue, but it's not perfectly blue. The sea, when I looked out the window this morning, it was blue, but it wasn't perfectly blue. But one thing is perfectly blue, and that is me. Everything from my shoes to my socks to my boxer shorts to the face on my watch is blue. And to be honest, it's a little bit cold, so I'm feeling a little bit blue as well. So all it's actually missing is you. So why not get yourself on a big bird or a canoe and start paddling like crazy? Because Marika, myself, and the rest of Cyprus, Paphos in particular, are simply waiting for you. You're going to have a great holiday when you arrive, whether you're coming for a weekend, a week, a fortnight, or perhaps even the rest of your life. If you see us out and about with a silly thing in one hand, a blue hat and a pair of sunglasses, I always have a blonde beauty with me, but if you see us, don't forget to stop us. If you want to be on camera, just come over and say hello, because we like to meet and chat to as many people I've lost my English is gone, as possible. Now, we're heading down towards Bar Street, and as I said, there's quite a few people on the sofas. We cannot mention everyone, but a big shout out to some of the people who help the channel in various ways, whether that be sponsoring us through Buy Me a Coffee, or whether they be helping us with a website, or whether you just be meeting us and saying hello. Every one of you, we love from the bottom of our two hearts, and we mean that truly and sincerely. And please, if you see us and you want to talk to us, do not think you're going to interrupt us. Walk up and say hi. That's all it's about. If we're sitting down eating and you think it's us, come over and say hi. We will always be humbled to meet you, that's for sure. We're going to take a left onto Bar Street. This is the official start of Bar Street. The road surface, well, it's going to get absolutely atrocious. So again, please, so sweet Caroline, get your jumper on the memory foam pillow, and just before you do, don't forget to pour a tot or two for our partner in crime, our Gumbaru number one, the one and only Lord Nigel Bickens. And we're looking forward to seeing you, and we know you'll be moseying on down in the Olympic Lagoon luxury resort. And of course, hopefully we're going to get to do the Chuchka dance down the Cato Paphos Promenade with the one and only superstar known as Miss Ellie. So this is Bar Street, and as you can see, well, it's not open because it's too early in the morning, but there's some good parts and there's some bad parts. This is the part that's what should we say, yes, just surely in English it's pretty bad, way beyond Sherlock Holmes, that's for sure. And we're not even talking about the road surface, are we? There's a couple of tourists walking along looking bewildered, thinking, well, that's a strange looking bar. Now we're coming past Pentara's Car Rentals. That's a decent car rental company if you want it. We're coming past the Keg and Barrel, very popular, well, pub, and it also makes some very good food as well. That's the Memories Cafe Cocktail Bar just over there to the left. Just up there is the Lodge. That's the relocation of the Lodge restaurant. Used to be situated outside the Olympic Lagoon, but now it's just over there to the left. And right in front of us is probably the greatest fish and chip shop in Paphos, if not the world, and it is called T&J's Fish and Chips. That's the Almira Luxury 5-star hotel, and this is the Passidonis Avenue, which is the hotel's road, and well, technically we're going the wrong way because the promenade is the other way. Coming along here, some more viewpoints, some bearings for you. That is probably one of the greatest hotels in the world, certainly in Paphos, and that is the Alexander the Great. It's a luxury 4-star, but to be honest, it should be 5, and it's situated right on the spectacular beachfront in downtown Paphos. And there's an awful lot of people that like that hotel. Oh, so sweet Caroline and Lord Nigel Big Guns, they love that hotel. You've got the one and only Dayman, she loves that hotel. And of course, Fiona and Rob, they love it. We've got Andy and Ness, they love it. It goes on and on. The list goes on and on and on. And there's a Mr. Paul staying there as we speak with a spectacular blue hat. And we bumped into him a couple of days ago. And you never know, we might even get to bump into him again. I'm going to say thanks for watching, and if you do like what you see, why not hit the like, click subscribe, and perhaps come back for a little bit more of my madness. And if you'd like to help the channel grow, if you'd like to keep these videos coming, why not go through to our About page, click on the Buy Me a Coffee icon once or twice. We will promise to liquefy your cash into benzene. Now and again we'll buy a coffee, but most of the time we will pop it into the tank, and we will continue to drive around and make videos especially for you. So a big thank you to Daniel Mahoney. That's the gentleman that funded this little video, and we thank you from the bottom of our two hearts. Thanks very much, and we'll see you in the next one.